As of today, this house has nothing left for you. Take your things and go.
The woman who lost everything in one night sat beneath a streetlight. What they stole should have ended her story. It did not. Before the mosque call, before the roosters, Umu was already moving. She swept the courtyard each morning the way she did everything, silently, completely, expecting nothing in return. Her mother died, bringing her into the world. Her father died on a road between two cities when she was 7. What remained was a notebook, a brass bangle, and the habit of building things alone. Demba took her in out of duty. When he married Fatu, he believed he was giving the girl a mother. What he gave her was a masterclass in surviving cruelty that never leaves a bruise.
Your classmates are building futures. You scrub floors like hired help.
Yes, Auntie.
Benetta filled every room she entered. She started a hairdressing course and quit. She started a computer course and quit. She dreamed loudly of elsewhere and worked quietly at nothing.
France, Canada, anywhere. I need to leave this country, honestly. Then work for it. Work for it. That is all you ever say. As if life is only work.
At 14, Umu began sewing on the machine her mother left behind. Neighbors paid her for alterations. Weddings brought bigger orders. Every coin went into a craft envelope hidden where only she could reach it. She taught herself margins, invoices, fabric grades. She told no one. She simply did it, before dawn, between chores, after dishes, the way promises hold, quietly, without witnesses. 5 years she spent building a dossier for a trade scholarship to France. 5 years of forms she sometimes did not understand and filled again anyway. The receptionist at the chamber knew her name without asking.
God sees you, child. Your mother raised you well before he called her home.
Every compliment the neighborhood gave Umu landed in Fatu like a personal insult. The child being praised was not hers. That was enough.
The Imam himself praised her character at the mosque today. People speak well of her.
She tries. Nothing more.
A father who avoids conflict does not keep peace. He only delays the war. When the acceptance letter arrived, Umu read it 4 times before she allowed herself to cry. She made one mistake. She brought it home. She still believed good news belonged to family.
Uncle, my scholarship came through. The program in Bordeaux. I was accepted.
5 years. Your mother would have been proud of you, child.
Congratulations, Umu.
That night she slept with the envelope pressed to her chest. She did not know it would be the last time she held it. She woke with empty hands. The pillow held nothing. The satchel held nothing. The room held only the shape of something missing. The other mattress was stripped clean. No sheets, no bag, no Benetta. The absence answered every question the mouth had not yet asked.
Where is Benetta? Where are my documents?
Lower your voice in this house. Benetta left on a trip. That is all I know.
You did this. You gave her my place. Everything I worked for, Tanis, gone.
Watch your mouth. You are in your uncle's house, not the market.
Senegalese speech. What happened here? Someone explain this to me clearly.
Benetta had her own opportunity and she left. Why must everything be about Omu?
His silence was its own verdict. A man who says nothing when the truth requires his voice has already chosen a side. By afternoon, the story had already changed shape in the mouths of neighbors. By evening, it had traveled 2 streets. Pity arrived first. Distance followed close behind.
I believe you, child. Do you hear me? I believe you.
5 years I built that. 5 years.
They sat together as the sky went dark. The courtyard kept living around them, cooking smoke, children, a radio somewhere, as if nothing in the world had broken. That night she made herself a promise in the dark. She did not say it aloud. She said it the way promises hold, quietly, without witnesses. This will not be the end of my story. The next morning she packed 1 bundle in a folded sleeping mat. She did not look back at the compound gate. Some doors closed themselves. He stood in the doorway watching her go. His hand rose halfway, to wave or to reach, then froze. He knew. And knowing without acting is its own kind of shame. The room had 1 window, a leaking roof, and a landlady who minded her own business. It had no comfort, but it had something the old house never offered. It was hers. She found work at a tailoring shop in the market district, not as the designer she was becoming, as the girl who cuts thread and sweeps the floor. She began from below, again.
You have done this before, have you not?
A little. I taught myself watching, practicing.
You have good hands. Sit. Show me what you can do with this fabric.
After 1 week, she earned enough for rice and 3 days of transport. The second week, the workshop owner moved her from the floor to the table. The hands had spoken. Nobody applauds a person starting over from nothing. That is the part no one tells. They speak of fire making gold stronger, but never of what it feels like to walk through it alone.
I have a big client. 12 pieces for a wedding. I want you to lead it.
Yes. I can do this.
Do not let your hands lie to me.
12 mannequin forms, 12 garments. She worked past midnight for 9 days. Nobody asked her to. Nobody watched. Her hands simply refused to produce anything less than the truth. On the morning of delivery, all 12 pieces hung finished in a row. She stood before them and allowed herself 1 breath of something that felt like proof. Then she picked up her needle again. The client photographed every piece, posted them, tagged the workshop. 3 new clients arrived that same week asking for the girl who sewed the wedding set. Not asking for the shop, asking for Umu.
Your hands never lied. Not once.
The women who once called her serious and blessed now whispered different words behind market stalls. She heard them. She paid for her thread. She left. She took the longer road home so no one would see her face before she put it back together. She learned something that year. People do not dislike your failure. They dislike the reminder that they stopped trying. In France, Bonetta discovered something nobody warned her about. An opportunity without the discipline to carry it is just a heavier way to fall. In 4 months, the program dismissed her quietly. She told her mother everything was fine. 2 years she tried to hold on in a country that had no particular interest in holding her. When a routine check revealed documents that did not match, the ending wrote itself. Umu did not know any of this. She was too busy building. Mariama taught her pattern making, measurement reading, the language of fabric. 8 months later, she was leading projects. 12 months later, clients asked for her by name. The sign went up on a Tuesday morning. Umu Job Couture, black letters, her name, on something that belonged entirely to her. For the first time in memory, something was fully hers. 4 seamstresses, a waiting list, suppliers who called her instead of the other way around. She had built it the way she built everything. Early mornings, quiet hands, no permission asked. Mariama came to the opening. She sat in the front row and watched all afternoon with the calm of someone who knew this day was coming long before anyone else.
Remember what I told you the first day? Your hands never lied. Not once.
You gave me my first chance. I will never forget that.
Go greet your guests. This day belongs to you.
5 years can change a name. Long enough for pity to become respect. Long enough for whispers to become referrals. Long enough for a girl scrubbing floors to become a woman signing invoices. She kept the first invoice Mariama ever let her write framed on the office wall. A reminder that someone once looked at her hands and said, "Show me," when nobody else would. The visitor arrived on a Thursday without appointment. Tailored blazer, leather portfolio, the posture of institutions. She examined the garments the way professionals do, touching seams, checking weight, nodding slowly.
I represent a fashion incubator based in Bordeaux. Your work was recommended to us.
Bordeaux. Of course. Please, Nen, sit down. Tell me more.
Nous offrons 6 mois en France. Accès au studio, mentorat, exposition internationale. Entièrement financé.
Bordeaux. The word that once meant heartbreak now meant something else entirely. Not a stolen chance returning, but a new one, arriving because the work had called it forward. Earned, not given, not taken, earned. Beneda returned on a Tuesday with 1 suitcase and a face that had aged in ways that had nothing to do with years. The distance had not been kind. She carried shame the way some people carry luggage, visible, heavy, impossible to set down. Fatou had grown older and smaller in her own house. The debts she managed with pride and silence were becoming harder to hide. The gold bangles were down to 1. The starch in the boo-boo was thinner. Demba sat with a television always on and eyes that rarely watched it. He had lived long enough to see what silence costs. They came on a Saturday morning, mother and daughter, walking toward the sign that read, Omu Diop Couture. The irony was not lost on the street. She heard the knock. She looked up, and she knew, the way the body knows things before the mind arranges them, exactly who stood in her doorway.
You have done well for yourself.
Thank you. Sit down.
They sat, surrounded by everything Umu had built from the ashes of what they took. The contrast did not need narration. It simply existed in the room like a third presence.
Things have been difficult. We need help. Financially. Just enough to stand again.
She looked at the framed invoice on the wall. She thought of the envelope under the pillow, the empty mattress, the silence of her uncle, the longer road home. She thought of all of it, and then she let it go.
I will not give you money.
Kapakara, so you want to humiliate us? Is that it?
No. I invited you to sit. I am speaking with more respect than this moment deserves. What was done to me was unjust. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. But I did not build this place for revenge. And money will not fold what happened and put it away.
I am sorry. I am sorry.
The atelier held that phrase suspended for a long time. 2 words, 3 syllables. The first honest thing Beneda had said in 5 years.
I know you are. And you already lived the consequence. I do not need to add to it.
She rose, walked to the door, held it open, not with anger, with the energy of a woman who knows where her limits are, and paid for every one of them.
I hope your family finds its footing. But I cannot be the one who repairs this. That chapter is closed.
So that is how it is.
That is how it is.
It was the last time they would see each other this way. The old story was done. Benetta turned and left carrying something heavier than the suitcase, the knowledge of what she threw away. She stood alone in the atelier. No anger, no tears, not even relief, just the deep, settled stillness of a woman who walked through fire and came out knowing exactly who she was. She picked up her pen. She returned to her orders. She continued working, the way she always had, the way she always would. When the boarding pass read Bordeaux, she did not cry. She smiled, not because the stolen dream returned, but because she had built a bigger one with her own scarred hands. The boy appeared at the glass one afternoon, face pressed to the window, pure wonder in both eyes. She waved him in.
Did you really make all of these? By yourself? From nothing?
From nothing. With these hands. And a lot of early mornings.
Then nobody can ever take it from you. Because it lives in your hands.
A child said what 10 years of struggle could not. Nobody can take what lives in your hands. She cried then, not from pain, from being finally, completely, simply seen. She stood in her doorway at closing time, the sign above, the street ahead, the evening gold. She knew who she was. She knew what it cost. And she would not trade a single early morning for a different story. You cannot steal a destiny. You can only delay it. And a delay, to someone willing to begin again from nothing, is just another kind of runway. Look at your own hands tonight. What have they built that no one can take? Whatever you give with sincerity will return to you, often multiplied, often from a direction you never expected. Patience is not passive. It is the strongest kind of action. First, resentment is the only prison you build yourself and then agree to live inside. Let it go. Not for them, for you. Second, nobody applauds the person starting over. Do it anyway. The applause is not the point. The work is the point. Third, your hands remember everything. Every skill you build, every early morning, every quiet effort, it accumulates. And one day it becomes undeniable. If this story stayed with you, if something in it felt true, take a moment and subscribe. You are not just watching. You are part of a family that believes in patience, kindness, and quiet strength. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Someone rebuilding, someone starting over, someone whose hands are tired but still moving. Leave a comment. Tell me what part reached you. I read every single one. Your words keep these stories coming. Another story is already waiting for you on screen. Press it now. I promise it will be worth your time. Thank you for staying until the end. Until next time, keep building. Quietly, completely, without asking permission. And remember, they can take the envelope, they can take the letter, but they cannot take the hands that built the dream. Those belong to you alone. Good night, and good morning, whenever yours begins.